Welcome back to another episode of Bromance. I'm Ryan, and today had the goat on, Matt Levine. We talked all about dodgeball. So we talked about UDC days, we talked about Elite, we talked about the thing, we talked about Team USA, and at the very end, we talked about mixed berries and their run in Minnesota and how they won the championship. That's it. Good episode. Hope you guys enjoy.
Ice water turn Atlantic, night calling in a phantom. Told them, hold it, don't you panic.
Welcome back to another episode of Bromance. I'm Ryan, and today I got Matt Levine, flight boy, with me. Matt, how we doing, baby?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Today's game day. Knicks game 6.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about it. It's in 2 hours. I'm trying to not think about it.
So I don't know. I like their chances. Honestly, I could see it going 7 games. I wouldn't be surprised. So
I'm really hoping that Scott Foster's reffing this game.
Yeah. He's got the curse for certain players, certain teams. So it's extending series at the very least.
The extender.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Today we went out to lunch and I was looking at Game 7 tickets at the Garden.
Oh boy.
I would go by myself. Like, full transparency. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
$1,200, cheapest ticket.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, to be able to see something like that, to see them, to at least have the chance to see them get to the finals.
Yeah, I mean they won that. They go to the finals first time in since I believe 99 or 2000.
But yeah, it's been at least 25 years. Sounds about right. Something like that.
It would probably be the highest high of all my sports highs ever.
Yeah, even higher, even better than Eagles. Either of the 2 times, I guess.
Yeah.
Jeez,
And then even better than the Eagles Super Bowl parade.
Okay.
Honestly,
I heard that was pretty epic too.
Yeah, I was telling Hannah about it, and she's just like, "You're fucking crazy." I'm like, "I know, but I want to go."
It's good. I mean, those are the kind of memories you want to make. When you have it's all sports stuff, so it's good. I mean, that's a good. I hope you get the opportunity at least for Game 7.
Yeah, that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
it was pretty ideal.
If Thibodeau needs someone to come off the bench, coach, I'll give you 6 hard fouls. Whatever the team needs.
Come in, whatever they need. Come in as that role player. That'd be a hell of an experience.
So I was asking Terrell, we recorded yesterday, how much would you spend on a championship for your team? But it was a guarantee that your team was going to win.
Okay.
So you're a Ravens fan.
Yes, that's probably my most my highest allegiance, I guess you could say. I follow football more than anything else. I have admittedly fallen off last couple of years though, so the number probably would have been much higher back in the day.
What would the number have been back in the day?
Back in the day, I mean, is it realistic, like the money you actually have, or money you'd be willing to spend if you did have it?
That's a good question. So Terrell said $250 for the Lakers.
Okay.
I said 10 grand.
10 grand, yeah. I mean, yeah, back in the day, I'm trying to think. I was the prime, when I could name all 53 players at one point on the Ravens for probably close to anywhere between 2006 to 2016. I could probably cover every single player. So if it were that era, I mean, yeah, I would say it's in the thousands. Now, I mean, I don't know, just more of a passive fan, I guess, at this point. It's probably still $1,000 or so.
Okay.
Could probably do something like that.
Yeah,
it would be pretty sick to see because I'd love to see Lamar get over the hump already. I don't know if it'll ever happen. We'll see. But I feel like we keep getting so close. He's had, at this point, almost 3 MVP seasons by now. We just got put together in the postseason. But, yeah.
Bring back Flacco?
He's still playing. He might he's they're one of was it 5 or 6 QBs on the Browns?
Yeah, it's him, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders.
I think Deshaun's still on the team for now.
Yeah, I think they're gonna sign Justin Tucker pretty soon.
Justin Tucker, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
and then him and Watson.
It's gonna fit right in.
Yeah, maybe 2 peas in a pod.
Right.
It's gonna be good.
Let's get into some dodgeball though. So I feel like you're a ghost, Matt. You're not on too many podcasts. You've been playing for a long time. You're a pretty humble guy, pretty quiet guy. So I want to pick your brain. I want
Okay.
people to know who Matt Levine is. So let's start with this. Matt, what do you do for a living?
I'm in product management for a data center company.
Okay.
Yeah,
What are
computer
some
stuff.
hobbies that you do other than dodgeball?
Other than dodgeball, anything active, honestly. I could say other sports. I could say, I mean, at this point, travel. I would say travel is a hobby. It's not only just for dodgeball. It's for other stuff too. We're my wife Shannon and I are we're always like constantly looking for different opportunities. We're on like the budget side of travel too. So I would say so this past year we actually got the Frontier Go Wild Pass. So we're gonna try to expand our horizons a little bit. We're gonna do some more last minute travel, I guess you could say. So we're pretty excited for that. Yeah, outside of that, I mean, like I said, it's mainly just outdoor stuff. I don't really play video games too much anymore. That used to be a bigger thing for me back in the day. Now it's more just I'll jump on like 2K every now and then with my cousins, and we'll get destroyed in my park or in the rec every now and then. But other than that, yeah, just doing whatever we can, trying to put ourselves in a better financial position. I'm big in like personal finance also, so I'm big on like credit cards and stuff like that. I'm big on different ways to try to make money, all that good stuff. So probably
Free
those
no
are a
tip.
couple things. Yeah, free no tip, pretty much. So
Free no tip.
yeah.
Do you want to explain this Frontier Go Wild Pass to the people who don't know what
Yeah,
it
no, I
is?
mean it's cool because again, I don't know if anyone that doesn't know me, they know I'm pretty like budget conscious. I have this like I have a reputation for being like pretty cheap overall, and like it doesn't bother me either way. But it's for the Frontier Go Wild Pass, the concept pretty much is any flights that Frontier has that are not sold out within the day before, basically. So if you're trying to, this pass is not for you if you're someone that absolutely has to book your flight like 6 weeks in advance or months in advance. Uh, it's just not going to work for you, unfortunately. But concept basically is you're booking a ticket for a flight typically the day before. Sometimes could even be the day of, but it can't be any earlier, or else you're not going to lock in like the best price. But you're basically booking that ticket, and it gets confirmed the day before. So you have to be flexible with your plans. It is very risky, but it's also pretty affordable. Each flight comes out to like $15 each. And then the pass for a full year, I think if you buy it normally, price is like 700 bucks. We got on Black Friday though, so it was 300 bucks for us.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it came out for us at least came out to 600 total for both of us. And like I said, we bought Black Friday, so we bought it in, that's late November, and we couldn't use it for 5 or 6 months or so. So we had to kind of wait, and it just went active about a month ago, May 1st. So, funny enough, our first use of it was to come up and see you at Semi Pro. So pretty
Oh,
cool.
really?
Yeah, that
Oh
was the first
shit.
time we actually or finally got to use it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. When you explained this to me, I was just like, dude, this would give me so much anxiety.
It does, yeah.
I'm looking at
Especially
I'm looking at flights right now to Seattle out of Connecticut, and it's like $600.
yeah, uh, it's pretty brutal. But I think from your perspective, at least you're at least planning in advance. Your flight wouldn't be for what 4 more weeks or so, almost a month.
Hmm.
By this time, the wait on the Go Wild route, if you're going that method, the best you can do realistically, I already know. I know like I've kind of looked at the routes and everything, so I have a good idea of which airports go where. In my case, at least, it would be Tampa to Denver, Denver to Seattle, and then Denver to Seattle. I'm sorry, Tampa to Denver, Denver to Seattle, then coming back, Seattle to Denver, Denver to Tampa.
Okay,
So
okay.
you can't go direct. Whereas in your case, you're probably going to be able to go direct. But
From Connecticut, I can't, but I think I
okay,
might go to New Jersey and then
okay,
fly straight to Seattle or Boston, but
sick.
Boston's even more expensive than Connecticut.
Okay, sucks.
Yeah, it's rough. I've never been to
Seattle.
Seattle. I'm definitely excited to go, but
Yeah.
I don't, can you get any more Northwestern than Seattle?
Uh, there's technically a town or two, but that's about as northwestern as it gets, I think, without actually going to getting into like Canada or anything.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, yeah, Seattle. I think I've only been twice now. Both have been for dodgeball. But I've been to Portland as well. Portland, like just going on the coast, is pretty awesome. I don't know if you'll have that much time to explore out there, but there's a lot to see out there. You know, if you've never seen it before, it is just the wooded area, just the smell outside. You know, you smell like pine trees. It's just a really fresh, like genuine kind of smell or scent, aroma, whatever you want to say. So it's pretty cool.
Seattle, they're famous for the flowers, right?
The blossoms,
Oh,
white
the
blossoms, I
blossoms. Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we went. Yeah, when we went to the thing, was that a month or two ago? It was like 2 months ago. We went to, I forget what college that was. We went to some college campus, and there were just the blossom trees just everywhere. It's really cool to see in person. I'm sure Bo has some really good content. He was going around with like a camera, just filming stuff. So pretty cool stuff to see. There's like a fish market too that they're known for. It's like Pike's Place, I think. Um, they have, I don't know how to explain it. They just like chuck fish basically.
Really?
They throw like these big fish to each other. You have to buy it for them to do it, so it's almost like there's a paywall, you could say, to even see it. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. There's a lot to see out there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to go out there. I like kind of fell into a rabbit hole like probably 2 months ago about like the Seattle Supersonics
Okay.
and the expansion team. And for anyone who lives in Connecticut that's interested, there is no more Dream next year. It's the Seattle Supersonics, and our jerseys are fucking sick.
Okay.
They're sick.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to look into that.
I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that before. That sounds cool though. I'm excited for it.
Super clean. It's the retro greens,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
not like the
that's
green and yellow. It's like the green and red.
okay. Green and red. Yeah, because that's. I mean, I think of the green. I always think of green and yellow. Those were really cool jerseys, and still kind of wish Seattle had a team. I get it. You know, they then moved to OKC. But yeah, it would be cool for that because that's a really good market, honestly, to be in.
I think they'll be like the next expansion team within the next few years.
Yeah, yeah, wouldn't doubt it at all. I mean, you're already because again, they have football. They have what's the Kraken, I think, is the hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
Mariners are huge. So yeah, at this point, like that, it would be natural, I think, for a basketball team to go back to that market.
Just a matter of time. They also have the Seattle Storm too, the WNBA team.
That's right. Yeah, they got the Storm. Closest pro or I'm sorry, closest NBA team, I guess, would probably be the Trailblazers.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but I mean, still either way, like if you got the Storm, you got Trailblazers. There's plenty of access to sports out there.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some dodgeball. So, Matt, how did you get into dodgeball?
I think I got in the same way you did. I'm a Sky Zone kid. You could say at least. I really wish I had more of an opportunity to play when I was younger. I want to say I just went up there. I went to Skies on one random day, like it was like New Year's Eve, 2014 New Year's Eve. I just remember going up there with a couple of friends. It just sounded cool. You know, it's an indoor trampoline park. So I went up there, had no one, didn't even know dodgeball existed, honestly, at the time. Just went there to jump around. And usually when you go there, you buy like a 2 hour pass. And towards the end, I think we were like an hour and a half in. And we ended up spending the last 30 minutes playing dodgeball. Again, like I said, we didn't even know it was back there, but we just had a lot of fun with it to the point where, a couple of us went back the next week. And then it kind of like spiraled from there. We tried to get back as quick as we possibly could. And then, slowly you find out there are local tournaments. You find out there are national tournaments, and it just, like I said, just kind of snowballs from there. So.
And where was this? This was Ohio, right?
Yeah, this is Ohio. This was the Boston Heights, I think. Boston Heights, I think, was the first Sky Zone I ever went to. That was like a local one. That's like Cleveland area.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually there was one kind of on the west side in Westlake. Westlake always had a good. They would have great turnouts. The ones by us never really got more than like 8 teams or so. But you'd go to this Westlake one, that was like almost prime time. I mean, you'd see like 20 teams sometimes at some
really.
Of these, yeah, I like I said, I really wish. Like if I could go back and play in more of those, I absolutely would.
Same.
I never, like I said, my issue I think most of the time was finding enough people, like trying to fill teams and all that good stuff. So, that was really the main thing. But yeah, that's where it all starts.
And your OG team was Hazard?
Slam Squad actually was the first.
Oh, Slam Squad.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was myself. yeah, how did Slam Squad start? So the very first iteration of this team was 5 people. So I'm sorry, myself and 4 others, all high school friends.
Hmm.
Um, and like I said, I think we put this together. I don't even remember who found it. I'm not sure who found this, but it was like the day of. We tried to throw a team together very last minute, literally like an hour or two before. Like on the way there, we had to pick the last person up. Like didn't even know he was going to play with us. But it was cool. We went with minimal experience. This was shortly after we had already gone, but very first tournament we ever played in, we ended up winning it. The team, sorry, the last 2 teams we played in bracket, was like all employees, so that you could see them jumping around everywhere. Like they were clearly like experienced, whereas we didn't really know what we were doing exactly. Probably didn't have any strategy, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's how it starts.
I'm trying to remember my first tournament, and I want to say it was definitely Sky Zone,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to remember if it was like in Wallingford, which was my hometown, 10
Okay.
years ago, or 12 years ago,
Yeah.
or actually, you know what? No, it wasn't. It was another trampoline park, but it was actually called Flight, which is funny.
What was it called? Okay. Okay. I've
It
seen
was
the
ca-
videos, I think.
it was called Flight, yeah.
Yeah.
And the setup was like the UDC setup in Orland in Orland Park for the
Got
Chicago,
it.
whereas like those infusion courts.
Yep.
And I want to say it was 5 balls, 5 on 5, but it was the 8 inch foam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so a lot of catches.
Yeah, I would imagine so. That's like so. Yeah, not only is like 8 rare, like 8-inch foam is super rare now. Like trampoline is pretty much non-existent. So like to find that iteration of dodgeball now, you'd really have to dig.
I don't even know
So
where I would go, honestly.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I know they play 825 up in Portland, as far as I know. I know like that Grip City League that Alan Thomas runs is 825, but it's not trampoline. It's just it's on court. But
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, and that's pretty sweet though. That's how you started, and now like look at things now. Like Sky Zone eventually turned into no sting only, so just completely different game compared to how it began.
Yeah, because Sky Zone originally, I mean, at least in Connecticut, 2013, I go on like Fridays and Saturdays for 2 hours,
Yeah.
and it was the big foam balls.
Okay.
And then they slowly moved to the no sting for UDC stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, there's like a Norwalk League in Connecticut that's big foam. And then Sean's League is like foam and no sting. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough to play that.
If you've never thrown it, like you said, a lot of catches. That's probably the best way to put it. It just doesn't go as fast. You can't send it as fast. It's a bigger ball to hold on to. So it just kind of makes sense.
We want to put like as much spin on the ball as possible, a lot of movement, no straight throws. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to get to the point there where you're literally like crushing the entire thing down to into like a 4 or 5 inch ball to get any sort of like movement on it, and then you start breaking them, tearing them up. So like at that point, like all right, never mind.
yeah, the ball's moving around like a frisbee.
Yep, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's funny
uh,
because yeah, it's still crazy. Yeah, sometimes after someone like crushes the ball, I've noticed like it'll stay like that for next like 10 seconds or so before it even recovers back to normal. So I can only imagine probably a lot more impactful on those too.
this
Just
is
get
a little
crushed in
bit
the middle.
this is a little bit off topic, but so for Arizona, they threw some of the new bat and foam balls in.
Yes.
And for this past tournament in Minnesota, there was, I think, only bat and foam balls.
Yep.
I noticed that there was a lot of balls that didn't have holes in them. I don't think I honestly picked up a single ball that did have a hole in it.
That is a good point. I'm trying to think now.
Like, I know the balls are lighter, but
Yeah.
they're more dense and they feel like they're like heavier to throw,
Yep.
but there was no holes in any of them that I threw.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now that I remember, I don't remember because I usually when I threw the previous ones, I always try to put my index finger. I'd put that on like the little hole on there. But yeah, I guess at this point you're just grip and rip it, pick up and just chuck it. So
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
personally like these foam balls a little bit better than the last ones.
Yep.
I think if you have like a pretty big arm or you have like a lot of endurance, then I think you'll be fine. But
Yep.
if you're not really known for your arm or you can only throw, for a few hours and your arm gets sore,
Yeah.
probably not the ball for you, at least for now.
Hmm. No, not at all. Yeah. So no, that sounds about all right. That's a good assessment, I would say.
But the cloth ball, so I didn't play cloth, Matt did. I've heard a lot of bad things about these new cloth balls.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think first game I played in, uh, I got out in just the dumbest way. I was trying to pick up a ball, or I was trying to gather a ball. Basically, I had no intention of throwing; I was just gonna go up and pump fake, and I literally lost it and went over the line to the other side. And the ref's like, "Hey, you're out." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Invalid.
Yeah, invalid throw, basically. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's just that like they make, I don't know what that stuff was. They make whatever that, like, it's invisible chalk almost, you could call it. It's really weird. You put it in your hand and it's completely clear, but then like you rub your hands and now all of a sudden you can hold the ball now. You can you can grip it correctly. So yeah, it's that's without that, I don't think we would have been too effective. I don't know if there's any other technique to being able to throw those or even hold them correctly. Might just be hand size, but
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. That's why I mean I have other reasons why I don't play. Had really bad finger injury from cloth, but I can throw a cloth ball lefty. Cannot do it righty.
That's something at least. Gives
Cannot
you an
do it righty.
opportunity. Yeah.
I think I enjoy watching it, but just to
Yeah.
play it, I'm like, no, that's not for me.
hmm No, I mean nothing wrong with that either. I mean it's a big adjustment. I would still take 8.5 over 8.5 rubber over this iteration or over cloth. I'm still a really big fan of 8.5. I just can't. The finger injuries I've also suffered from that sport, I just like can't really play anymore. So, but when it was okay to play, I remember having more fun in that than cloth.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So speaking of ball types, what is your favorite ball type and what's your worst ball type?
Between the four, favorites definitely no sting. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'd say worst is probably cloth. If I had to rank the four, it's it would be no sting, 8.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still put 8.5 at second. I just, like I said, it hurts to play it, unfortunately. But like I said, as far as fun or like enjoyment goes, I've always really enjoyed 8.5. But like I said, it's just honestly, in my opinion, it's maybe if I wasn't a corner, I probably would have had more longevity in that ball type. But it's from when you get enough balls thrown at you and you just block over and over and over. I think it's just the way the impact of ball into ball, and it's both of my pinkies right now that are
Mm,
not like disfigured, but they're not the same anymore.
I
So
feel
it's
that.
probably the
Yeah,
best way to put
yeah.
it. Yeah. So as far as ranking them goes, though, I mean, yeah, I'd say no sting one, 8.5 in second, foam third, and then cloth fourth.
Okay. I think
So
I
yeah,
would switch year 2 and 3 for me personally.
yeah,
But yeah, I get a lot, and I'm sure you do too. Where people are like, "What's your favorite ball type?" I'm like, "No sting." And they're
yeah.
like, "You're a sick fuck."
Pretty much. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, yeah. Look at you like you just like killed somebody or like you're messed up in the head or something.
Back in the day, there was like the tournaments where you play like 8.5 and then you play no sting, and everyone's
Oh
like,
man.
Ryan does not really care too much about 8.5, but we know
Yeah,
we need to look out for him for no sting because that's his ball type and he enjoys it.
yeah. No, no sting has always been fun, and it's not even. I don't know. I mean, I'm not even. I don't know if you're the same way. I'm. It's not my favorite uh, because it's just been the longest and the most original. I've definitely given foam a chance and everything. It's just I don't know. It's just almost more natural. I just always enjoyed it. Kind of like that the throw line is a little closer. Like I know foam is 30 feet, kind of has to be, but I really like the 25 foot foot throw line. So I think that's another reason for it.
Yeah, I think if you have a big arm for sure. Um, I honestly would have said last year that I might have liked foam more than I liked no sting, just because
Yeah.
I liked the rule, the burden rule, and then I think it's very easy to like manipulate. Like, you
Mhm.
know who's throwing, throw at them at like a second, second and a half. They
Yes.
ball block it. All right, now give us 3 balls. We got all six.
Yep.
But now that they changed the rule, I think I'm back to no sting.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that. I did. I enjoyed being able to count, like you said, counter with 1 second left. Like if they don't throw here, you get all six. So yeah, I missed that rule as well. And it's hard to follow sometimes because sometimes you'll play in these like one-off tournaments and they'll play with that rule. Other times they won't. So it's really tough to like shift back and forth sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my preference has always been on that as well. Where if you're able to throw that last second counter, uh, and have it be effective. Whereas if you miss it now, it just resets. Now they have four. So
Yep. Do you ever play in old Sky Zone tournaments where every ball like had a 10-second countdown?
No,
No,
that's
you didn't do
horrible.
that. That was crazy, dude. You get a ball from like someone countering, and like
Yeah,
the ref is counting on you to throw, and like you would just drop it, like try to leave it on trampoline. They're like, no, dude, you gotta throw that ball.
you gotta check that.
And there's 10 people on the court, including
Yeah.
yourself, and everyone knows you have to throw.
Hmm. Are there five refs then, or how do you even? I don't know how you police that.
Those guys on refs were, I okay. Listen, they were kids. They tried their best. They were getting
Yeah,
paid minimum wage. I understand, but
that's fair.
yeah, those refs were god awful.
Got to do what you can, you know.
Speaking of Skystone, though, so you went to Vegas a few times, right?
Yeah, Vegas twice because it was in 2015, 2016.
You played on a team, I believe, with 5 people, right? 4 people.
We when we I forget what the rule was the first year. I do remember. I know it's evolved a little bit over the years. But I know for UDC, at least the way that went, you'd have to win your local qualifier. You only get one chance. So if you don't win that, you don't go to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately in our case, we made it happen both times in 15 and 16. So we got to go both times. But I know in 15 there was some strict roster limit where you couldn't add anyone after the fact. Whatever team you go to the qualifier with, that's your team right there. So in our case, our very first year, I remember we had our core four, and then we had one guy on the team. It was like two of his cousins or something like that. We ended up winning the tournament. We qualified and everything, but then we find out like a month or two before the two cousins can't go.
Mm.
So my first experience, our first experience at UDC, and we played Kingdom too. I remember this. We went out there. We went out there 4-on-5 every single game. We played down
Oh,
a person every game. Round robin, I think we were 4-9 if I remember correctly. We didn't seed too well, but
yeah.
yeah,
We didn't do too hot either. I was definitely grateful for the opportunity to go out there with Kingdom, but
yeah,
I feel like I was more like of a reserve, and I felt like I had more to offer, especially at the time.
yep,
But yeah, it was definitely a good experience. So
mm,
yeah, we actually met at a UDC qualifier. Do you remember that?
yeah. That's 7 years ago at this point.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah, it was
The Cannonsburg one.
yeah, in Canonsburg. Yeah, you,
Yeah.
you came up to me. Okay, so Matt knew everything about me, but he didn't know why I was playing. And I was like, yeah, dude, I just can't play. I'm sick. You're like, what? And I was like, yeah. And I explained it, and I won't explain it on here, but I was like, yeah, I just can't play, man. But it was funny that Matt came up to me, and he knew everything.
I did some research. This is back in the day. I would make like I was always super prepared going into tournaments, especially these. I was gonna say international. Those, especially these like national tournaments, you could say.
Hmm.
Anything that was out of state or anything that didn't have people that are from like Ohio at the time, I would do some pretty big research because I'm like, look, I really want to, I want to play in UDC, see whatever we can do.
Hmm. You'd
Um,
have to, yeah. That's smart.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, just I remember like going on people's Instagrams. I found like I was looking at your Instagram, Sean's Instagram. I was like, all right, how do these guys play? How do they do this? What's what teams are going to be here? I remember researching the Tigers extensively that year because I know they were at that tournament as well in 2018. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was rough because you guys won that tournament. Um, I want to say we didn't even make the finals. I think it was like semis.
We didn't play you in the playoffs. I don't remember. I know we played round robin.
Yeah.
We didn't play playoffs that year, even though it was 7 years ago. I still remember not. I remember seeing the Tigers in the finals, and we played like Ohio Legacy on the way.
Hmm.
But no, I don't know if you guys. Maybe you guys played Tigers. I'm not sure.
I want to say we did. We lost in the semis.
Okay.
I remember our team for this tournament. So it was Sean.
Yep.
I believe Jeff was on our team for this tournament.
No, not the Cannonsburg one.
Not the can. Okay, so it was the
Yeah.
one like 2 days before that.
Yep.
We had Fricker.
Yep. That sounds right.
We had Jordan Perkowski.
Yep.
We had Tyler Steffi,
Yep.
and we had Dan Smallcomb.
Malcolm. Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's the team. That's the team.
yeah. Tyler Steffi, I will never forget, was wearing
Wow.
2 headbands.
Two headbands? I don't remember that at all. I don't know how I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I remember he like threw a catch, and I was like saying some shit. I'm like, bro, you might want to take one of those headbands off.
You know what? Now that did you have NAR also? Does that
Yes,
sound
we had
familiar?
NAR too. Yeah, you're
Okay.
right. Yeah, because we stayed. All right, so the plan was to win that first qualifier, but we lost. So I was like, hey, we can go out to Pittsburgh. It's like 3 hours from NAR's place. So we stayed at NAR's place, and he played with us in both qualifiers.
Yeah.
Because this was the year that you could do multiple qualifiers,
Yes.
and it was rough because we played in New Jersey tournament, didn't win that. Played in that one like Phil, I think it was Lancaster area, lost it
Uh, yeah. Canonsburg or a different one?
right before Cannesburg.
Oh, Chalfont was the other one, I think. I remember
Okay,
seeing
so
that.
then the Chalfont
Yeah.
lost that, and I'm like, well, we'll win this last one. We have to, right? We have a good team.
Yeah.
Nope, lost it.
Oh,
But yeah,
damn.
yeah, rough, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the elite days. So you started playing 8.5. I think you kind of really broke out at that one nationals where you played on Space Cadets
Yep.
with Adam Demir.
Hmm.
So talk about that.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was first experience playing 8.5. Again, I think it does go back to the Sky Zone stuff. I know it's Chalfont. I'm pretty sure that's where I met Adam, and that's where he basically recruited me. So going to that Sky Zone, that's what I mean. Like when I say this stuff snowballs, you go to one tournament, you might not know anyone, but if you go and if you play well, or if you make if you do something to stand out, or even if you just make one friend, or just some sort of connection, anything like that, that's how you get snowballed into the other stuff. Because like I said, didn't even know what elite was at the time. So Adam ended up approaching me. He said, "Hey, do you want to play in this tournament? This is going to be a pretty big tournament." I'm like, "All right, sounds pretty cool." Uh, so I remember driving up with these. Their team name was like Ohio Legacy. Uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember those
yeah,
guys.
yeah, they're from like Akron, which is probably like 30-40 minutes from me at the time. So again, it's from the outside looking in, it sounds very weird, jumping in a car with like four dudes that you've met like once or twice, if that,
Mhm.
and driving. I don't know, Minnesota at the time was probably 12 hours away. Jumping in a car with them, driving 12 hours, go play dodgeball for 3 days. Sounds pretty out there, but I mean, yeah, it was really fun. That was a pretty crazy tournament. We did not do very well at all in round robin. We were the 26th seed, if I remember correctly. Our record was we were below 500, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we just went on this crazy run in playoffs and ended up finishing Final Four. So
Yeah, I remember that team.
great.
So it was you, Adam, Jason Blue,
Yeah,
Colin.
yeah. Colin Dowling, great. Is that Grady? Is that his name?
Yes. And I
Um,
believe Drew was on that team for that tournament.
Drew Gilbert.
Yeah.
Drew on that team. Fricker was on it. Do we have Drew Gilbert? I don't remember now. I'm
I feel
blank.
like you guys did. Maybe
Maybe we
not
did have
though.
him. Yeah, he was. He was. I think. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was there.
Hmm.
I remember we had seven, so that sounds right.
Yeah. And Minnesota. So that was the birthplace of Impact.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was. You don't
That's
remember?
te- oh, that's right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah. That's when.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you
Yeah,
and I
that
were
was
kind of
good.
talking about beforehand, and
Yep.
then in Minnesota, we all kind of linked up, and Sean, Jeff, and I were all staying together, and we're like, "Hey, let's do this." And then I was already talking to you and Kyle Sander before that, and we all linked up, and Fricker was there, and we had like not really a meeting, but we're all kind of talking about it in the lobby area,
Yep.
and then yeah, because that was nationals, and then going forward for that next season, that's when we all play together.
Yep. Yeah. So it would have been 6 months after the fact, probably when Impact would have started.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Had all those like random New Jersey tournaments that we
Yeah.
play in.
That's right. I think the first one was one of those Randolph YMCA tournaments.
Yeah, but
Uh,
yeah, I remember our first tournament. We absolutely fucking crushed.
yeah. I'm pretty sure I think it was that Randolph one, if I remember correctly.
I
Yeah,
think I
those are good
remember going.
times.
I think I remember going through our first tournament, and I want to say our win loss record, like not per series, but per games per series.
Yeah,
I think it was like 35-2 or something like that.
that sounds right. Hey, I do remember that one tournament. It was like 3-0. I think I don't know. I don't think we even dropped the game in the playoffs.
No, I don't think
It was like
so.
3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 4-0, something like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty good. I don't know, it's cool. And again, it was new also. A lot of us hadn't really played together too much. Uh, you and Sean obviously had the experience, but like myself, Kyle, Jeff, we didn't even know who Fricker was at the time before coming into it. So yeah,
Hmm.
it was pretty good. It was a good time.
Yeah, and I mean, so 8.5 was still extremely new to Sean and I.
Yes,
But
yeah,
I mean, as a team, we didn't really get to practice at all because at the time you're living in Ohio.
yeah,
So you'd come out from Ohio with Sander, you come out with Harley Davidson, Ralph, come out with Big Booty Barry, Tree. I'm trying to
Curtis.
remember who else you come out with.
Curtis, right? I'm trying to think of who else.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, Curtis was on a couple of those. CJ.
I forgot about Curtis Burgess.
He he, he was a maniac. He would drive because he lived even further than I did. He would drive from like Dayton, which is 3 hours or
Oh,
so.
oh,
So, and I mean, the most efficient way would have been for me to start driving somewhere on the way, to go east towards Pennsylvania, Jersey, whatever state it was in. It was always somewhere different, but both of us are coming from Ohio. We're far as it is, but he would basically drive 3 hours north, just north, like not even north to the easterly at all.
mm,
And then the two of us would leave to go to like 6 or 7. So
jeez.
that's like a 10-hour trip each way for him at that point. So I mean, I admire the dedication though. You gotta respect that, but
Yeah, I think
wild.
Kyle Fitzpatrick made the trip a few times too.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Fitz he was a big part of it as well. He kind of got me into dodgeball also. He was someone I also met a little early on in the Sky Zone days. I think we just randomly ran into him a couple times at Sky Zone, and then
Hmm.
then he eventually became a familiar face. And then I ended up playing with Gamecocks a little bit up in the north during the elite days. So that was cool. He's really good dude. But yeah, like I said, he was in the area. He was like 30, 40 minutes from me. So it's good to have a connection close by.
Yeah, for sure. Do you remember that one Ohio tournament that we played? I think it was Cleveland, where it was like 8.5 and then pinch.
Yeah,
That
that's the only
shit.
Ohio one I played in, I think, ever.
Are you serious?
Maybe, or sorry, at the
Other
time,
than like Sky Zones, obviously, but
yeah, other than Sky Zone, and then they had a round in like Toledo in 2022.
oh my
Other than that,
gosh.
nothing.
That tournament was hilarious. So if I remember correctly, Sam Hutter was running that tournament.
Yeah, sounds right.
And that's where TJ got hit in the face by Tom Moran.
That's the one. That's the legendary clip. He like claps
I
twice, and then
the funniest thing is like because I probably post on Instagram once a year just because it's so funny to me still. But the context behind that, so like Tom Moran was like lighting CJ shit or not CJ, TJ shit up. And for anyone who's never played pinch, like pinch comes in hard. There's a lot of movement on it. If you play pinch, you will legit be scared unless you like are dominant in pinch. Like you honestly are gonna play scared. So TJ loved pinch and he was all about it. And Tom Moran was lighting his shit up. And in between games, we're gassing him up. We're like, yo, you got this shit. You're going to catch him, blah, blah, blah. TJ's like set up for the catch. He's like clapping his hands. He's like getting loose. He just gets absolutely lit up.
the
Uh,
legendary clip has been posted so many times. It's unreal. Yeah, that just the timing of that was I don't know, because it's all in sync too. Just 1, 2, 3, and on the three is where he gets hit, and it's completely demoralizing sort of play for TJ. Not sure if he'll ever live that one down at this point.
all right. If you guys follow TJ on Instagram, I want everyone to go to TJ's Instagram. He literally has one post and it's the video.
And it's that,
And
yeah.
it's the video. Like go on it, like it, like
That's
comment
funny.
something funny. Like, yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Comment an angry face if you can.
Yeah, angry react it. Everyone put an angry face.
That would be ideal. I think we could just flood his comments with angries. I don't feel like he doesn't go on social media too much either, but I
Mm-mm.
hope even if he does just log in one day randomly, he's like, "Wow, we've got a couple comments. What's this?" And then 10 angry faces, 20 angry people, however many.
Yeah, please go on TJ's Instagram and angry react it. So we talked about elite days. Let's talk about the thing. So how
Yeah,
many times have you gone to the thing now?
been in the thing twice. I went to the very first iteration, and then I went to the most recent one.
I'm assuming the first one was with Shred.
Yes, yeah. First one was a little rough. We only had 6, I remember, so you could tell people on our team were just tired the whole time.
Yeah, that's rough because how long are the games?
I don't remember what they were back then. I know if I remember correctly, what they do now is 2 12-minute halves for round robin, and you don't play. I don't think you play everyone anymore. You play almost everyone. You play like 8 or 9 round robin, I want to say. So
Hmm.
there are only like 2 teams that you won't see. Assuming they keep the 12. But 24 minutes each of those games. Figure in our case, we are playing every single one of them, so if we're playing that many games, and then playoffs, I believe. I don't know if every single play. Actually, yeah, I think every single playoff match is 20-minute halves. Each they're each 40 minutes. So
Yeah, yeah, six
you
is
gotta be ready.
rough for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was brutal. And that first year we won two series, I think, in playoffs. So even with six people, it was brutal. Though. Like I said, it's a grind, but just gotta try to get through that.
Right, and
Out of
it's
the
the top
storm.
six in the U.S. and then top six in Canada. So for anyone
Yeah.
who doesn't know, this is honestly the most difficult. It's an invite only tournament too. For anyone who
Yeah.
doesn't know, but this is by far the most competitive tournament that you can honestly probably play in all of North America.
I'd say so. This is the tournament. I would say. I always look forward to this one. Um, and yeah, just as far as quality goes, like you can't. Every game is tough. Like you're never gonna look at your schedule and say, "Wow, like this, we're gonna steamroll this team," or like this. You're not gonna see a team that you're expecting to just walk through or run through. So, uh, yeah, and I think that's my favorite thing about it. And just the way it's ran. Seattle Dodgeball it's like one of the best organizations in the sport. They have so much opportunity to play out there, and they're experts in foam. So
Hmm.
it's the perfect group of people running it.
Yeah, and it's ran by Lucas Boyle and
Yeah, was it Lukas Missy Takahashi runs it as well. I think Ray Lee is she's in it as well, and then Hung is also he organizes it or he's
mhm.
part of it. So they have a really good team. They have like professional photographers. I think they got screwed this year on the taco truck, unfortunately. They
Wait,
usually,
what?
yeah, it's super random.
What?
They'll try to cover you because most tournaments you're on your own for food. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
if you don't hit Costco, you don't Walmart, whatever beforehand, get the Uncrustables. You're screwed. You're not gonna have anything to eat. But this tournament in particular, they typically will have some sort of food truck set up or just some sort of vendor outside. And then this year, I remember just randomly finding out like, oh yeah, food truck canceled on us the night before. So there was just nothing. So you had to, if you didn't, some people have cars, some people run cars for this. You could Uber Eat stuff, I guess, if you had to, but however you got to eat, it just
Gas
made it a lot more
station,
difficult.
gas
Yeah,
station, beef jerky.
yeah. Hit the IHOP if there's an IHOP there. That's all we could eat in Tucson is our only option.
Yeah,
Four
I think
different
I,
IHOP meals.
I think we went to IHOP 3 times in Arizona.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Chipotle's still sitting there after this last weekend.
Don't eat my Chipotle.
Yeah, so don't touch that. I
Uh, yeah. So
need that
I had
rice.
Chipotle the first day in Minnesota, and yeah, I mean, I ate it the second day, and everyone's like, "You're fucking crazy." I'm like, dude, I'll honestly like eat pretty much anything other than seafood.
Yeah,
I'll eat anything, and it doesn't really have to be refrigerated, unless it's like chicken or like a big no. But it was like
yeah.
rice and a bunch of vegetables, so I was like, yeah, I'll eat this.
We gotta get you on the unlimited sushi buffet. Maybe one day.
Absolutely not.
Never.
No, my parents used to be very religious back in the day,
Yeah.
and for Lent we would have to have seafood on Fridays, and I had fish sticks like every Lent on Friday for years, and I would throw up, I'd kick, I'd scream, I'd cry. It didn't matter. I had to eat those fish stick, microwave fish sticks, and they're disgusting. I hate the smell of seafood. I will never eat seafood. Like I'm scarred for life.
You have a legit reason then to hate fish then. Okay. So that makes that's like trauma based at this point. Like
Yeah, and so my grandparents, they're from Madeira, which is a small island off of Portugal.
okay.
They come, well, they don't come to the States anymore, but when they used to come to the States, I don't know how my grandma would sneak fucking fish on the plane. She would sneak
Oh,
codfish on the plane, which is like the worst smelling fish possible,
okay.
on a plane. Bring it to fucking Florida of all places, and that thing would smell terrible. It would stink up the house for like a week, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I hate seafood. I'll live outside. This is terrible,
I'll go camp in the backyard. Whatever I gotta
terrible. Yeah,
survive
I
with.
hate seafood.
What is her method for transporting that? Is it a lunchbox, a cooler, or is it just pocket or
I,
what's
I
the
think she just like honestly plastic wrapped it, if I remember
okay.
correctly.
That's pretty cool. I respect it. We bring food every now and then on the flights. We'll bring like leftover Chipotle, like on the plane.
Twisted teas.
Yeah, the tweeze somehow. We get fit out. Well, I usually can't get liquid, but the other No, I mean, yeah, that's insane to bring that much cod across state lines realistically on a plane. Yeah, that's like too much. At that point, it's gonna be like gross. But I guess
Yeah,
if you can stomach it. But
not I. We went out to lunch today to Joey Garlic's, so it's like a pretty good restaurant, right?
yeah,
Table behind us gets seafood, and I'm just like, why are you ordering seafood here? That's gross. Or at Joey Garlic's, go order pasta. I mean, they have like crazy good salads and like grinders and shit.
yeah.
They order seafood.
Wow. You make Caden front the tab?
Yeah, yeah. I picked up a job application for him, so supposed
Good.
to probably get a call back soon.
Okay, I respect it. That's good.
Yeah.
That's that preload. Now your other if you do ever do you like hibachi?
Yeah, I like
Uh,
hibachi. Yep.
okay, so that's the other compromise. That's the workaround. That's what we'll do sometimes. Whenever we go to the all you can eat buffet, our method is typically fast for like 18 hours, then show up and super hungry. Shannon doesn't like any seafood. Seafood either though, and she'll just get like, chicken hibachi, steak hibachi, or was it teriyaki chicken,
Hmm.
any of that good stuff. So there are ways strategically to avoid the like the raw fish, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, good
I'm drawing a
options.
blank right now. What's the restaurant? I know it's in Florida that it's like all you can eat. It's like $40. You have like a coaster, like red, green, like come to the table, don't come to my table.
No,
Oh, you know what? Fogo de Chao.
I've never even heard of that.
No?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh shit.
Fogo de
Okay.
chao?
So yeah, we went there. It's in Orlando. We went there like 2 years ago. So it's pretty much like an all you can eat buffet style, but they come around with like fresh meat that they cooked in the back. And you have
Okay.
a coaster. So it's like if you want it, like green up. If you don't want it, red, red up. And then they have like I don't know, you can walk around, it's like buffet style too.
Hmm.
So my cousin and her boyfriend, they were moving to Mexico at the time. So they had like all their shit in their car. So my friend John and I, we weighed ourselves beforehand, and I ate until I almost threw up. And we're trying to see how much weight that we could gain, and we're like trying to outdo the other person.
Yeah, I like
We
it.
we both gained exactly 5 pounds.
Okay, that's That's 80 ounces of food. I guess water. I don't know. Yeah, water probably counts too. Yeah.
I felt
Wow.
disgusting.
That is insane.
It's absolute fire though.
It's good
If
stuff.
any,
Yeah, no, it's
yeah,
good.
it's amazing.
Hashtag ad.
Hashtag ad. No free
Yeah,
ads unless it's Twisted Tea.
yeah, that's tweet. Tweets only.
Let's talk about
That's
the
fun.
most recent the thing tournament though. So you guys
Yeah.
or you played with Grizzlies.
Yes. Yeah. Very really good group of guys. I hadn't really had too many conversations with them. Just a lot of times, people in this community just through like just in passing, or you like hear about people and whatnot. But yeah, they'd reached out probably at least 6 months before the tournament even happened. It was a while ago, and I had it on the calendar, had it on the radar. I'm like, I'll let you guys know. Wasn't really in the best space for playing dodgeball at the time, but yeah, it was cool. Just have something to look forward to. I was pretty optimistic about it, so ended up playing with them. Like I said, really really good team. I think we could have made a really good run. We had an unfortunate matchup, Misfits. First round, they ended up going all the way to the finals. They went on a really crazy tear. That ended up being our first round matchup. But like I said, I think we would have parlayed it into a lot more. To paint a picture, we went down really bad early. We went down like 5-0 against them, like very,
Mm-hmm.
very quick in the first half, brought it all the way back and ended up losing. I think we lost 7-6, if I remember correctly. Pretty crazy match, really entertaining if you ever want to check it out on YouTube. But yeah, that was, like I said, other than that, we were really solid. I think we were the 5 seed going into in the playoffs. But yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, I remember watching the playoffs and you guys almost came back, but Misfits like killed it. Was that Jordan Williams and
Yeah.
Josh Bell, right?
John Bell.
John Bell.
He's stupid, elusive, just crafty. I don't know what the way stupid's not an insult at all. I just mean just the way his play style is just so unique. You really have to see it to believe it. I can't compare him to anyone else, honestly.
I feel like the nicest way to put it is like you feel like you're catching him in a mistake,
Yeah.
but it's not a mistake. Like
Mhm.
that's what he wants you to do.
Yeah, yeah. He'll bait you in. He'll trap you in. Whatever. I've seen him hit like a T pose before in the middle of the game. It was at one of the training camps actually. He had like a 3-on-1, and he eventually got he used craftiness to get it down to a 1-on-1. Him against Chris Wheeler in the end, and literally like the way he released his ball was so interesting. It was just a really quick release, and then whatever dodge he ended up doing ended up like put his arms out in a T formation, T pose, and Chris missed him, and John hit his target, so he came back and won it that way.
Damn, bro,
Pretty
50-50 to throw, and there's Fortnite T-pose right
Yeah.
afterwards.
It was pretty wild.
I love watching players like that.
Yeah, no, he's very entertaining to watch. Misfits is solid. Brandon Officer, I'm sure he had a really good day as well. I'm sure. But yeah, that's a scrappy team. I was very happy to see them. I was rooting them on the entire time. I was pretty much injured towards the end of that series, our last series. So I would try to like limp over and just kind of watch wherever they played at when we were in Seattle. But yeah, they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, for sure. So you got to play with Zach Fernald, Chaz, Glenn, right? Was Glenn on that team?
Yeah, Glenn was on the team. Dan Fernald as well. Dan Alport, really nice guy also.
Yeah, I love Dan.
Yeah, Dan's cool. Eric Nelson, Matt Bosco. Is that 8 people? Can't remember. I don't know if I'm forgetting someone.
I feel like you might be forgetting one person.
You said me, Zach, Dan, Glenn, Bosco, Eric, Chaz. Yeah, that's 8.
Yes.
No, there's only 7?
I don't know. Close enough.
I made that up.
Yeah. Zach played in a semi-pro tournament with Charter last year, and good time. Let's talk about Team USA. So you got the opportunity to represent Team USA and play mixed last year, mixed foam.
Yep. Talk
about it.
Very great time. Like I said, it brought my admiration and love for the game back. Playing with that group, it was just a great group of people to be around. There weren't any attitudes. You didn't have to worry about people like yelling at each other or anything like that. It's just a really good environment to be a part of. And even I still even say that about some of the people that I barely even knew coming into it. Because you're not going to know every single person. I knew most of the guys on the team already. I had at least played with or had some experience with them before. Most of the girls, hadn't been with them at all. No tournaments played together. Barely any exposure. Didn't really know too many of them. But yeah, we were really fun bunch. Really good group. Mixed berry stems from that team. I'm sure we'll get into that at some point. But that ended up being our chant. I think Ashley Cook may have came up with it. But it's just like a play on the Wiggles, I think, or the Wiggles thing.
I have no clue.
Yummy. I'd have to look it up. I don't know. It's some like Wiggles reference though. But yeah, really good environment to be in. I think most unfortunate part about that tournament, I would say overall, we didn't really get challenged enough. I don't think. I don't mean to say that in a cocky way at all. It's just most of our round robin matches, the final score ended up being like 12-0, if not higher. We didn't drop very many games. I think our point differential after round robin was like 67-4 or something crazy like that.
Damn.
So, and we ended up getting the 1 seed by like 1 game over Canada, who was like 66-4, or maybe they're 67-5. I don't remember. But literally, like it got to a point where if you lost 3 games in one match, you're not going to get the 1 seed. It's probably the best way to put it. But yeah, I mean, it was good to experience it. Good experience overall. Like I said, heartbreaker in the finals, of course, but yeah, I mean, I would run it back with those people again and again. This is a great time.
Yeah. So you've tried out for the team in the past, correct? Twice, right?
Yeah, I tried out in 2019. I didn't get picked in 2019. Still trying to understand that one. 2022, I got picked, and then I had to get surgery that year. And it's just the way it timed up. It didn't make any sense. I could have returned and like played in the tournament, but I would have been like very fresh. And so I pretty much just messaged the coach and said, look, I don't think this is the best thing for the team. I think someone else should take this spot. And they did. They replaced me. And then 24. I think the tryouts were technically in 23, maybe 24. I don't remember. But now that it's every other year, so 3 tryouts in total.
Yeah, I'm very happy that you made it this past year. The year before that when you got hurt, that sucks. But the 2019. So I'm not trying to talk down about anything Team USA related, especially whatever. But I feel like back in the day that it was pretty obvious who was going to make it and who wasn't. And I always felt from the outside looking in, don't know what's taken into account for Team USA. But I always felt like there was a few names that I'm just like, I feel like there's players who are more deserving, or they have more potential, or they're younger. And you and Jeff are always those players that I'm like, they deserve to be on this team.
I appreciate you saying that. I felt well, I mean that's the thing. I remember I remember that year as well. It wasn't just myself that I was upset for in 2019 in particular. I know there were a couple other players as well that I definitely thought like should have played them because I mean I guess I do understand you're not going to play against these people the entire day long or all day long, but it's just you get to see like who's really standing out and everything. So it was so there were a few people playing that that day that I thought should have gotten picked as well, and they didn't get chosen.
Yeah.
But
And this is not to talk bad about the
no,
players who
no,
did make the team and represent the country.
yeah,
They're obviously amazing players. There's a reason why they were there.
yeah,
I'm
of
not saying
course,
that they're bad players, but I just
yeah,
feel like there's more deserving, and there's also younger players too. I think
yeah.
that's big.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, and unfortunately, I mean, I've been on both sides of it to be perfectly honest with you as well. I felt a certain way about in 2019, but even this past combine, 23, 24, whichever one it was, I think I had my worst combine ever this past year. So unfortunately, I like I said, I don't think I played well enough in this most recent combine to have been selected.
Hmm.
If you're judging it just on one day. So again, that's kind of what I look at a little bit as well. But in this case, it went in my favor, which again I'm not like too proud of necessarily, but uh, in my opinion, I think I have been on both sides of it at this point, as
Yeah,
far
I
as like
mean,
the whole
I feel
selection
like
process goes.
yeah, I obviously have the track record to prove that. I mean, maybe you just had a bad weekend at the combine, but yeah, I think a player to look out for. What was it? Would be next year, correct?
Yeah,
Right?
well, yeah, they're already starting. Yeah, I don't know how the selection process goes exactly, but yeah, technically it would be for 26 is the next iteration.
The team, yeah.
Yeah,
Logan, and I don't think that's a crazy thing to say at all.
yeah, Logan Gurrig. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
From Outsiders, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, lefty.
yeah, crazy release, like
Yeah,
crazy release.
yeah. He was on the practice squad this past year.
I believe he also went, but he didn't
Yeah,
play.
yeah. I don't know if he got I don't know if he got picked for anything actually. I know he at the very least he was at the training camp and everything. Uh,
I don't think he made the practice squad. I believe that he just went to watch.
okay, maybe it was that then because I know he was in Houston also at one of those events.
Hmm.
It was like that Caribbean Cup, whatever you call it.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't play in it though. He was more just like shagging there for support and everything because pretty much everyone on Outsiders is also on USA home
Yeah.
cloth, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it just kind of makes sense to go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's crazy talented.
Yeah,
I could definitely see him making it next
totally.
season. But yeah,
Yeah,
let's piggyback off of that into Minnesota. So Minnesota, you guys win mixed for
yep,
foam. Your team name is Mixed Berries. You were kind of talking about it beforehand.
yeah,
So your roster was Brandon Officer,
hmm,
Nico, Derek Johnson.
yep,
Uh, I'm scared to talk to girls, but I believe it's Kara,
yeah,
Kiara,
yep.
and white girl, blonde hair.
Aaron,
Brittany? Oh, Aaron. Okay, okay.
close
Let's go.
enough. We were supposed to have a Brittany on the team also. But it's I don't know.
um, but yeah, so you
Yeah,
played with what? You played with Brandon. You played with Kara
yep.
on mixed, and then did you play with Nico on mixed too for USA?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this mixed team, everyone except for Aaron and Derek they're on the mixed foam last year for USA.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so five of the seven players that were on this team, we have a group chat for it as well. So like, Lucas probably would have been on this team. He had to get back home though, so he just didn't play mixed. I think he only played open in Minnesota or Minneapolis, but great to have Derek as well. Having a fourth player and someone as impactful as Derek also is always great to have on a team. Um, So yeah, and like I said, same thing, same feeling. There weren't really any attitudes or anything. It was a really fun team to be on. And yeah, we did have a few close calls. I'll say that. As far as getting knocked out, especially our very first round of bracket play. But other than that, it was pretty smooth sailing overall.
So I'm looking at it right now. So Mixed Berries played double tapped the very
Yeah,
first series.
that
Who
was
was
our
on who was on double
that was the
tapped?
game. Which is that?
Who was on double tapped?
Double tapped is it's funny because it is partial revenge the way I see it. The guys on that team were all from class, the team that we lost to as flight.
Mm,
So I think it was four. I want to say four of them, honestly. So four of the guys from class. I don't know any of their names. Unfortunately, I don't know that team very well. I believe they're all from like Portland though, because I know uh, I'm pretty sure the girls on that team were from Portland, if I remember correctly.
mhm.
I could be completely off on that, but I did recognize some of the people on that team. I just don't. I'm not terribly great or familiar with their names.
So that series was close, but you guys obviously came out on top. Then you guys played Cookies.
Yes.
Who's on Cookies? I know we played them, but I'm trying to remember who was on that team.
Cookies. If you play Rose City, Rose,
Oh,
Rose City co-ed. All the girls on Rose City.
uh-huh.
Same thing. I don't know any of their names. I just know them from the team. The guys. It was Dakota and Braden from Elevation. So the
Mm-hmm.
two brothers. The Twin Towers. You got Miles, and then
Miles.
yeah, Miles, Indiana Jones. You got him. They had and then Dylan Tobia, I think was the other guy. Tobia, if
Yep.
I'm saying that right.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a good team. They were solid too. They gave us a good run.
Then you guys played Brick Squad.
Yep.
How was that series?
That was what, like 4-0, I think, but a lot of it's a misleading 4-0, you could say. I think there was only one game where we kind of like ran away with it, and it was the last one, so we didn't need the point at the time. Uh, we were up like 5-2, 6-2, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of momentum swinging games though. I mean that's a quality team. That's usually one of the teams to beat. In this whenever you play in a mixed tournament. Uh, but yeah, like I said, I mean we threw a few untimely catches. I made like a decision or two that game. I think that I probably would take back, or there are always plays like you want to take back, or could go differently overall, but it was someone different every time in that series, which is really cool. Like I think everyone contributed in some way, shape, or form. Aside from Derek, only because we started off with Derek on the sideline and we just kept winning in that series. So Derek didn't play, but Derek made great contributions shagging balls. If you watch that series back, he was extremely quick, like to get him into us. And he, like I said, he contributed in every other series as well. So
A good
yeah,
teammate will always do that too. If you're
absolutely.
running hot
Yeah,
and it's like 2 or 3 in a row, you're just like, hey, just keep on playing. You guys got it. I'm gonna
yeah,
shag and
that, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what we were saying. We had a rotation. We had a rotation in place. I think we were subbing guys out because we had four guys. The girls had to play every single game, unfortunately. I
mm-hmm.
couldn't talk to anyone though. I was really scared, so didn't really get to do any of that. So, but yeah, every two games, and it just happened that the first two games Derek was sitting out, and he's just, hey, like keep running with this, like stick with this lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did, and yeah, ended up winning that series as well.
Okay, and then you guys make it all the way to the finals, and you play Moist and win.
Yeah, the Moist series, I would say that's the most back and forth series that we had.
They
Um,
so they beat us in right before semis in game 7, so it's a 3-3 tie.
yeah,
They beat us in game 7. That series was so
yeah,
back and forth, but they are such a fucking good team.
yeah. No, they're quality. You never know. Like they just pretty much everyone on that team you could throw a game changing catch to. Is probably the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what they do. I'm sure. Oh no, I think you may have went up a little quicker than we did on them.
So we were up 3-1, and
Okay.
then there was game 5. Sam and I ran up, and no, I ran up, I believe, with Michaela. I pitch
Yeah.
it to Sam. Sam gets hit. Ball hits him, hits me. And then the very next game, I wouldn't say that Sam screened me, but he kind of did.
Yeah.
And then I got hit. So, yeah. And then we lost game 7. It was tough, but hey, they're a really good team. So you
Yeah.
literally can't take that or anything from them.
No, not at all. There are some crazy plays in our series as well. I mean, just like I said, that game was back and forth. I think they won the first game, we won the second. It was, it was 1-0 them, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, and then 4-3 for the final.
That team too, like I don't think anyone on that team throws straight at all. They're all just breaking balls, sliders,
Yep.
curveballs.
Yeah.
So Matt and I on flight, we got to play class in the playoffs, and they first rounded us, and Glenn fucked Matt and I up. That's our new daddy.
Yeah.
Fucked us up.
Yeah.
So when we played Moist, I went over to Taylor because he was playing the other corner, and I was like, "Hey, do you feel confident lining up against Glenn?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." I'm not saying that I don't feel confident because I feel pretty confident against everyone. I would much rather line up against DeMonte and Pyan and have that side than Glenn. He's like, all right, if that's what we want to do. So, but yeah, DeMonte, crazy good hands. Pyan, obviously really good player. Has a crazy fucking throw, catches everything.
Yep.
Glenn makes no mistakes whatsoever. Ball. He threw some balls at me this weekend. I actually pulled him off the side and was asking him like, dude, how do you throw these balls? And it's cool enough that he even answered, but he was like, yeah, I hold the ball like normal, but it's how I like roll my wrist and then my arm angle. Okay. But he's throwing balls that like slide down. He's throwing balls that go the other way, which is like impossible. And he threw a screwball at me that went both ways. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy. But yeah, shout out Glenn, super nice guy. Got to talk to him this weekend. Yeah, it was cool.
He's a vet. He's got the Excel document with the 400 or 500 tournaments that he's played in his life.
Crazy.
It's very, very, very organized. I appreciate that level of detail.
There's another guy on their team. I forget his name. It's like Brandon, right?
Yeah, Brandon Renfro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then their girl. So it's like Glenn's wife, Pyan's wife, and then Luann.
Yeah, Megan and Lisa, and then Luann.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a fourth girl? Tia, right? From LA.
Oh yes, yeah.
So they I think they had 4-4 if I remember correctly. So they had a sub each game.
Yep, crazy good team though.
Yeah, that team is solid.
I feel like for just happy, we always lose to Moist or Instinct. Like every single tournament, we always line up against them.
It's a kryptonite.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Instinct is good too. Great team to play against.
Crazy good.
Yeah.
So man, yeah, there's one thing I wanted to talk about. So when I lined up against DeMonte in game 7, he threw this ball at me at the front line. And the thing about that team is literally none of them throw fastballs. They're all like just balls that break. So he threw a ball at me that was like probably like 2-3 feet, almost off the court. I'm playing left corner. It's almost off the court because he's a righty playing the right corner. The ball breaks and I know it's going to hit me in the ankle. So like I try to like Michael Jackson go on my toes, lean forward. And it just nicked the back part of my foot. And I literally, it looked like I got crossed up on the court. And I was like, that was such a good throw. I am so embarrassed that I fell down the way I did.
I don't think I've seen that one yet. I'll have to see if I can dig that up somewhere, or if it's on film somewhere.
It's it's on #ad. It's on my last stream. It's like the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the stream, but it's pretty bad.
I'll have to check that out.
It's pretty bad. Actually, you know what? No, I think it's like 40 minutes because I didn't watch the men's finals. I watched the women's finals and I was recording it for them.
Okay.
Okay. So I got one last question for you from me, and then we'll go into questions from other people. What is your favorite city that you've played dodgeball in?
That is a good question.
Good question.
So when you say this, is it for like the tournament, or is it the just city in general?
Like overall.
Overall. Wow, good question.
Good question.
Yeah. I would probably, oh man, as crazy as that is to say, I'd probably say Vegas technically, just because I'm like sick of Vegas at this point, but it's more just sentimental at this point. Like my first UDC experience was Vegas, I would say, and that was always, again, I think that's where I started in dodgeball, so I'd probably say that. Even though the last, we haven't been to Vegas in like 3 years now. At this point, there was like a few nationals ago that was in Vegas. we try to we're just it's just not our style. But yeah, I'd probably say there, just in general.
Okay, and I lied. My last question to you, and then we'll go into others. What is your favorite memory from dodgeball? Whether it's something that you did, something that a teammate did.
Favorite memory, wow. Yeah, I'd probably it's gonna stick with the sentimental thing. I'd probably say that very first tournament. Playing in that first is it's just some local tournament with a team that was put together like hours before it started.
Mm,
But I don't know, just that experience. I think winning that and just seeing how everything has snowballed into this point today, really. So I'd probably yeah I'd say that tournament.
okay,
What's your
okay.
name?
I would say for me personally, that Chicago round last year was pretty sick.
Yeah,
Just who was on the team. It was the first time you and I got to play back together for a while. Same thing with Jeff and Sean.
yeah,
Nikki had that 1v1 at the very end where we won foam, I believe. That's the one we won the foam
yeah.
division.
Those Grizzlies. Well, they were both Grizzlies, right? Both times.
Unfortunately, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
yeah. That was great times. That's probably I'd say as far as venue, that's my favorite venue. That Chicago one. Uh,
Have you played in Kansas City?
which one? One of them's called Hy-Vee. Is that Chicago or is that Kansas
I've
City?
no clue.
Okay, one of them is called Hy-Vee. Kansas City is up there though too. That's a just massive stadium feel. Like that one actually that one feels like really professional too. That one's
Chicago,
almost too big though, I guess you could say.
Chicago and Kansas City, those are by far my favorite.
Yeah, totally. Those they stick out way above any of the other ones that we currently play in.
This last round was a little rough just because you had games that was like court 1 to court 4 up top, and then you had like courts 5 to I think
Yep.
14 downstairs, and you're playing on like court 8, and then you gotta like grab your phone or GoPro or whatever, run up,
Mhm.
trying to grab water or grab your bands or something like that, and you're just like, dude, I'm just like running around like a crazy man.
Switching floors was brutal. Having to go up and down. I still remember. I mean, yeah, last weekend in Minneapolis, our first game was on what court 2, I think, or court 1.
Yeah, and it was crazy quiet up there, and I'm like, where's
Yeah,
all the teams? I didn't even know we were playing downstairs.
yeah.
And then you go
I
downstairs and it's crazy big, and they have like
yeah.
an indoor track on like the second floor, and you're like, what
hmm
the fuck?
The viewing area is all. It's that's always appreciated. I've always had an admiration for any sort of like elevated area to view or to be able to watch stuff from.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the appreciation for that probably again starts in Vegas, that very first UDC. I mean, I don't know if you remember, not that it's like that catwalk, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, I remember.
You
Yep.
can just like look over. It was cool because you can be right in the middle. You can look one way, and then you can go down the middle. You look to your left, there's a court. You look to your right, there's another court.
Yep. The,
Just so unique.
the only like area that you couldn't watch was like that first court on the backside because that's where they had like the front desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then they had the nets go all the way up, so you never had to worry about getting hit.
hmm Yeah. Safe. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a solid location, I would say.
Let's move on to questions. So, full disclosure, I thought about this too late, so I posted it last night. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 questions.
Okay.
I think Precision might be the only team that saw it because there's 3 questions for Precision.
That's funny.
But let's go into it. So Akil asks, how do you learn how to dodge so effortlessly?
I appreciate that, Akil. I would say it's probably just a combo of it's agility, I think, from playing other sports. Like there's no sliding experience necessarily that precedes dodgeball. I would say just but like jumping in general. Most of my dodges are probably like jumping, like kneeling down to go low or something isn't really from a sport either. But I would say that jumping is probably the most common thing I would say I do, or at least that might be known for dodging wise. Yeah, that's just general, like playing basketball, like going up, getting rebounds, playing ultimate frisbee. I have a past of like playing frisbee and just like basically trying to moss people when someone throws it deep. Same thing with football as well. I played football. I played flag still a good amount still recently. I play either receiver or safety, so just being able to jump up and you're just trying to win a jump ball really more than anything. So I think that translates a ton. I know in dodgeball you're not really trying to catch something like above your head necessarily, but I think the jumping aspect still sticks with that, and it just feels like natural, I guess, at this point. Um,
Mm,
and then yeah, just like I said, shuffling drills as well. I guess you could say that's another part of it, but
yeah.
yeah, just trying to move laterally, trying to get out of the way.
It's funny that he asked that question because when I saw that, I'm like, bro, you make it. I wouldn't say he makes it look effortlessly, but I'm just like, he's the craziest Dodger I think I know.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say probably the same thing to him. He does more crazy stuff than anybody.
I think he's also like 42 years old, which
Yeah, he's
what?
unbelievable. Yeah, there's no. That's another play. That's another person in dodgeball that's just like so unique, and like they're not gonna like you're not gonna be able to duplicate this. Like no one else has these attributes or traits, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. And shout out Keel because he played on elevation, what, 2 weekends ago now, and he played
Yeah,
really good.
yeah, he played awesome. Keel was great.
This question is from Derek Smith. Derek Smith asks, "How do you keep your composure so well, even in crucial moments?"
It's just calm demeanor. I think I don't know if I have any I don't know if I have any like advice on that necessarily. I'm just a naturally like calm person overall. I don't really get phased by too much stuff. Like you can like good play or bad. I usually don't celebrate like outlandishly. I've never been one, or I've never really been someone to do that either way. So I would say it's just yeah, like I said, just natural. Other than that, it's just staying focused and understanding. Like don't try not to let things get too far. Like don't get too far ahead of yourself. Try to take things one game at a time, like that sort of thing, and just really valuing yourself as well. I would say for composure, just knowing you just got to have the belief that as long as you are in, you have a chance at winning this game.
For
Probably
sure.
best mentality to go into any game with.
Yeah, like just stay neutral. Your high
Yeah.
shouldn't be too high, your low shouldn't be too low, and
Yep.
act like you've been there because you've been.
Yeah.
But I gotta start getting you to do the John Morant's grenade celebrations because I did
That
it
one is
way
fun.
too much. I did it way too much in Minnesota, and then
Yeah.
Wednesday we played a doubleheader, and I closed out a good amount of games, and I think I John Morant grenade celebrated probably 6 times on Wednesday.
Okay. I like that. I can match you. I could probably do six in a tournament.
The good thing about John Morant is he loves guns and weapons so much that like you could do one gun, you can do
Yeah.
two guns, you can do grenade. He hasn't done RPG. Maybe he's waiting for next year.
Yeah. Just he needs to have like a prolific enough of a dunk to or he just needs to make a cool enough play, I think, to warrant it.
Throwing knives, maybe.
Yeah, throwing knives. For like Friday the 13th, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but
Something.
this is gonna get out of hand. I know I'm gonna do something and probably get in trouble.
Maybe some major. They're like, yeah, you can't try out anymore. You can't. You're banned from every tournament ever. We weren't too fond of your celebration.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Marcus he asks, "What is it like being the smoothest motherfucker to ever grace a court?"
I appreciate that. Thanks, Heat. Shout out Heat.
Shout out Heat.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I mean, like it's good. I don't know if I'd say that necessarily. It's just yeah, like I said, just the calm. I'm just calm demeanor, all that good stuff. Just staying calm in big moments is I think it goes a long way. I typically I guess I view it this way. Like I typically have more respect for people that aren't like as outlandish or like if the, like you said like you just said I'm big on the act like you've been there before sort of mantra. So
Mm-hmm.
like if I see someone make a big play and they're not like celebrating it like to the point where it's disrespectful or anything like that, I've always had a respect for people that are like that and that aren't gonna, if you make a big play like I've made tons of these plays before, like this, it doesn't seem like this is the first time you've ever done this, stuff like that. So I mean, I guess I just kind of keep that in mind. Uh, yeah,
I definitely think it's like okay. I've kind of caught myself. I would say the last few months like celebrating more so, but it's like big moments, like playoff moments, or like
yeah,
for example, like Dylan and I, we played against each other and mixed, and I think we legit had like a 3+ minute one
hmm
on one, went into no ball blocking, and I end up winning, and I celebrated it. Like I like screamed, and I normally don't scream, but it was just for me it was a big moment.
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, that is a big moment though too, especially when a one-on-one lasts that long. I mean,
I was
that,
exhausted. We
yeah,
probably threw 50 balls combined at each other.
that's wild.
Honestly,
That's
yeah,
so crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited though to play with Heat as well. So I don't think I've ever played with Heat before. So it'll be
Mm.
cool playing with them in is that July, June, July, something like that.
Yeah, it's coming up. Well,
The draft
we'll
tournament.
talk about it at the very end.
Yeah.
And last question from Jackson Lamar, not Lamar Jackson. Jackson Lamar asks, "What is your highest CP Pokemon in Pokemon Go?"
Oh, wonderful question.
Wonderful question.
I don't know if he knows. I don't know if it needs to be Megat or not. Uh, uh, 4652 Kyogre. I have a perfect Kyogre that I got from Shannon, my wife. So I nicknamed it Boss on the game. So it's pretty sick. I don't know if anyone's listening to this and knows Pokemon Go. Yeah. So 4652 is probably the base one. I don't have a perfect Mewtwo quite yet. One day I hope to. There are a couple other Pokemon that get higher than that, but those I usually only go to level 50 on the perfects. But when you Mega Evolve Kyogre, it gets to like 66, 52. So that's the answer right there, I'd say.
I have
Curious.
no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, you probably have no idea.
I would have just guessed 100 was the highest level.
It's well, yeah, there are like levels on there. Those aren't as easy to see on Pogo, but level 50, if there's like a best buddy system, also you could if you earn enough hearts. There are certain ways to earn hearts on the game with Pokemon, but if you earn enough hearts, you can get to a best buddy status, which gives them a boost to their CP is combat power, and the higher the combat power, the stronger the Pokemon is. So, and yeah, Kyogre is a legendary. I don't have a perfect Groudon yet either. That would be up there as well, but yeah, for now it's Kyogre till something changes.
Okay, okay. And let's finish with this because the next game is about to start.
I know it's coming up soon.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Boston tournament. So
Yeah,
the Boston round for USA Dodgeball is what is it, 7-11, I believe? 7-11, I want to say. Which is
Slurpee?
foam.
Yeah,
But 7-11 Slurpee. The next day is the BDL Showdown, fourth tournament that they've hosted. No Sting. And Matt
yeah.
as a captain, first time Matt is playing in the BDL tournament. And he mentioned before he's playing with Heat. So who else is on your team?
The rest of my team, I would need to look it up. I do
Oh, I'm
not
sorry. I'm
know.
putting you on the spot.
I don't know most of their names. Unfortunately, I did draft Lamar Jackson. Though, I'll say that. So two people that ask questions. I have Heat. I have Lamar Jackson on the team. I have Carla on the team.
Greg the Leg.
Yeah, Greg three leg Greg.
Greg was
Got
three
him.
G's.
Yeah, Greg 3Gs. I did recognize Greg, and then I'm trying to remember the rest of the people. To be perfectly honest, some of the people I was looking at their photos, and
Mm-hmm.
I somewhat recognized them. I know they're Jess Sarton. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
I was pretty sure I drafted her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blanking on the other two though. They were a little. I'm trying to remember now.
I
Wow.
drafted a gentleman named, I believe, Aaron Morin. And I was like, how do I contact him? And they were just like, oh, he doesn't have social media. So I still haven't talked to him.
How do you know he's? Oh, are you supposed to have a chat already by now?
I had a chat the night, like literally the night of the draft. So I don't even know how to talk to this guy.
Okay, you have to send like smoke signals or carrier pigeon, or I don't
I
know.
think pigeon, man. I
Yeah,
don't know. Does he have a
might be the
pigeon
best.
mailbox? How does this work?
Might be the best option.
Uh, Let me pull this up.
He's I don't know what's his name again.
Aaron Morin. So your team is you, Andrea Marrera. I don't know who that is,
I have no clue who that is.
but I'm scared to talk girls. Carla, Greg, Jackson, Jess Sarton, Luke McKenna was the one you were forgetting.
Luke McKenna. I can't believe I forgot Luke. Okay, I did pick Luke. I couldn't remember if I thought I'd missed him, but okay, yeah. Looking
Luke
forward
and
to
then
that.
Marcus. I thought you drafted him, I believe, like one or two picks before Pierce.
Maybe that's what it was. Okay.
And I was like, ooh, trade bait.
Yeah. Right. Get him for. That's funny. I was gonna say
Yeah.
I could look that dude up on LinkedIn, but even that's about it. I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to find him.
I don't know.
He's got to have. I mean, like, yeah, I get why people probably don't want to have social media, but I don't know. LinkedIn's pretty good for a professional world.
I think I'm just gonna have to make a MySpace page and try to find him there.
But again, his top 8.
I don't know.
If
But yeah, no, the BDL tournaments, they're a good time. I played in
yeah,
one. This will be my second one. They do a good job streaming them. So if anyone is playing in the Boston Foam on round on Saturday, even if you're not going, I would say, hey, go to the Beetle tournament on Sunday. I believe it's at the New Balance facility.
Well, and actually, I think the Boston route is no sting. The BDL is foam, right?
Oh yeah, my
Other
bad.
way
My
around.
bad. Yeah, I flipped them. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, something like
Uh,
that.
yeah. So yeah, you're right. It's a good time though. They do a very good job of organizing it. Shout out Abby. Shout out Bo. Shout out Claire. Shout out anyone else I'm forgetting. And then yeah, they also stream it too. So if you want to watch it, they stream it, and I believe Dodgeball Related is streaming it this
Yeah,
time.
Dodgeball Live.
Dodgeball Live, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like I don't know who would be coming down for that. If it's like Miss Jansen or I don't Bill Fisher. I don't know who runs. It feels like someone different each time, but someone would be coming down with equipment.
Yeah. And then I wonder if they're gonna commentate it.
That would be pretty sick if one of the courts was streamed or something. Or I mean, you could at this point. I like what they're doing lately, where players that just are off that round are able to play.
Yeah, so they have been streaming them, and they'll
Yeah,
have the scores and everything updated too. So they do a really good job about that. But yeah,
yeah,
having players not play and commentating would be cool.
yeah, yeah. It'd be pretty nice. Adds a good element to the game. I think it's good for the sport.
For Sean's league, I have these wireless mics, and for playoffs last year, we were commentating, and I've always toyed with the idea of putting a mic under my jersey.
Yeah, mic'd
Um,
up.
but I know myself. If you know me and you've played with me before, sometimes I'm a pretty straightforward person. So you might you might listen to what I'm saying and be like, "Yo, that's crazy." But if you know me, you'd be like, "That's actually not crazy at all."
Yeah, here's some out of pocket stuff every now and then.
Yeah,
That would be
but
pretty sick.
that's
That'd
just
be
how
pretty
I'd
good.
be. But yeah, I definitely, if I ever do that, there's no way I'm making that shit public.
Yeah, no, not at all. No, that's gotta be in the archives.
Follow me on OnlyFans.
Yeah, yeah, that's paid subscription only. There's no other way to access this sort of vernacular. That gets
YouTube
used.
Premium.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
even
for
a thing,
sure.
actually?
I think so. Yeah, yeah, YouTube Premium because YouTube Premium is one way of getting into Sunday Ticket. I think usually.
Oh yeah.
Well, and plus like YouTube has a million ads these days. Every streaming like Netflix, Hulu, everyone has ads now, unfortunately. So yeah, premium is just the way around the ads. It's like 15, $16 a month plus
Mm,
tax. So yeah,
okay.
brutal.
That is it though, Matt. Do you have any plugs? Do you want to shout anyone out? Anything else you want to talk about?
Can't think of too much at the moment. No, shout out to Flight. Shout out to our team. Shout out everyone on Mixed Berries. I had a lot of fun playing with them. Shout out Boss as well. Boss was in the other room at one point, listening in, but not here anymore. Uh, can't think of anyone else. No, just looking forward to a good year of some fun tournaments. Keeping things up. I hope Jalen Brunson scores 50 tonight. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm already getting good luck texts and everything.
Good, good. I think I still have your dad's number saved. I'll send him a random photo. Trying to
Shannon's
keep
dad
that.
never responded back to me.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I asked him about that the other day. I was like, "Did you get a random 8 ball request?" He's like, "Yep." And then he's like,
Did
"They
he
asked me."
never
Asked
he never
him.
asked about it or anything?
No, he didn't ask us. I had to ask him. I was like, "Did they?" And he's like, "Yeah, they asked to play me in chess also." I was like, "Why didn't you play
Oh,
him, man? You would have wrecked him. You would have destroyed this guy."
so for anyone who doesn't know, we were in Minnesota watching was it game 4 at
Or yeah,
game 3 at Whirly Ball, and the Knicks were
yep.
down 10, they're down 15, they're down 20, and Shannon's dad is a Pacers fan, and I'm like, we need to break the curse, so we got to do something crazy here. So I literally was like, Shannon, what's your dad's number? So I just start randomly sending him 8 ball pool requests, and like the Knicks cut like the lead from like 20 to 10. I'm like, I'm gonna do it again. Do it again. Knicks bring the lead down even more. I'm like, I'm gonna do it again. Then Shannon sends the 8 ball pool request, and Knicks were up like 3. And I'm like, no, unsend it. Like
Unsend that.
I don't know what type of like voodoo magic this is, but it's working.
Mm-hmm.
So she unsends it. The Knicks start losing again. I think she sent like a Michael Thomas thing.
Yeah, Slam Boy. Yep.
And then Knicks come back, and then they're losing again. So then she sends a chess request.
Yep. It worked out how we needed it to. So we'll be ready tonight. I don't know if we might. Yeah, we'll watch it here. I don't know if he'll watch it with us or not. See him walking outside right now, actually.
If the Knicks are losing, I'm gonna send him 8 ball pro request. So
Yeah,
just so you know.
I'll bring a pool stick up to him or a pool cue and couple billiard balls IRL life if I need to. So
Honestly, whatever works.
yeah,
Whatever works.
if we need, yeah, whatever method it takes. I'd love to see this thing go game 7.
I'll sign it in the WhatsApp group message for our Nutmeg
Yeah,
group message. I think there's 78 of us in it. So
good lord, wow. I can't keep up with that. That's too many texts.
I'll mute the group message and then I won't like look at it for like an hour.
Yeah,
and then some days there's just absolutely insane. There'll be like 300 messages.
I don't know how you. Yeah, that's too much. I can't even keep up with like texting one person at a time.
Facts.
It's brutal.
If you need to text Matt, don't text Matt. Text Boss. She'll get back to you.
Yeah,
from
Decker. Decker, I think Decker says I have a 7 to 10 business day policy at this point, which is unfortunately somewhat accurate.
Yeah.
Working on it.
I was telling Bo too. I'm like, if we need to talk to Matt, like, I'll text him, but I'm like, I'll text Shannon too, or I'll put you guys in a group message
Just in case. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's rough. There are too many notifications coming up. It's brutal. I can't keep track of them all.
I think you just like need a flip phone, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, go back to a dumb phone or I don't know, if I got a Razor, I would be all in for that.
Dude, that'd be or those phones that would like slide like up.
Oh yeah, with the little keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could be in for that. It'd be pretty sick.
Be sick.
I just can't play Pogo on it. That's the only issue.
True.
So that's really the only reason I have a smartphone now. it's Pogo and Marketplace. That's about it.
It's always on Do Not Disturb, but you're just playing Pogo.
Yeah, so I'm always disturbed. That's how it goes.
But all right, Matt. Thank you for hopping on.
Thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate it.